Saturday night, July 21st, a Palestinian terrorist named Omar al-Abed snuck into the town of Halamish, Israel. He saw a house with a lot of lights and went inside. He was welcomed in, at which point he took out a knife and started stabbing. He was only stopped when an Israeli soldier next door shot him, by which time he had already killed 3 people. In the house was a young mother of 5 children who was able to rush her kids out of the reach of the terrorists. It was only her keeping calm and acting quickly that saved the life of her and her children. Her name is Michal, Lando, and 3 people murdered that night were her husband Elad and her husband's father Yosef and sister Chaya. This was a horrible act which touched the hearts of Jews around the world, but it was more personal for me and my family. To explain, my father's father, along with his 2 brothers, were born in America, but their family moved to Israel when they were kids. Later, my grandfather moved back to America, but his younger brother, Donnie, stayed in Israel. Michal was one of Donnie's kids, my father's first cousin. Before the summer, the last time I saw Michal was at a family celebration at Donnie's home in Rehovot. She and her husband were there, along with their kids, laughing and enjoying the time with family. Due to the summer terror attack, Michal's life has been turned upside down, and she is now a young widow of raising 5 children on her own. She is here in America to join me and my family in celebrating my brother's Renee mitzvah, and she agreed to make some time to speak with us about what she has been through and what she is dealing with now. And I will now give the mic to Michal.
Hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Actually, it's been my 2 first days in America, so it's very exciting. I'm 35. I got married about 12 years ago to Elad. Elad was an amazing person, a great father, a great husband. He had a great personality. When we got married, we lived in Halamish. Halamish is also called as Neve Tzuf. It's a settlement in Israel. Beautiful people, beautiful views, surrounded by Arabic villages. I was afraid of going there. Every time we went there, I was afraid that someone will shoot us, we will hit by stones. But it's a great community and great people, and we decided to move there after we got married. We lived there for 1 year until one day we were hit by stone. There was no harm for us, but since I was pregnant, I told my husband, that's it. I want to raise my kids in a secure place without these problems, without these worries, and we decided to move to Elad. Elad and I were married, as I said, almost 12 years. We've got 5 amazing kids. Avinam, who is 11 years old, Ruth, who's 9 years old, Amitai, who's 5.5 years old, and twins called Ariel Ziv and Avishai Avi, who are 18 months old. 3.5 months ago, we were on our way to Elad's parents in Halamish. Because of the roads were not safe, we went in a secure bus that defends you from stones and from shootings. And we went there, we got there. It's amazing that the roads were not safe, but in the settlement, we felt safe. It was surrounded by a fence. People did not feel afraid to live there. There's the army, there are guards around the settlements. We felt safe. Me and my kids used to love going there, but I was a bit afraid. Actually, six and a half years ago, there was a terror attack in another settlement called Tamar, when terror got into a house and murdered five people. Ever since then, I felt less safer in the settlement. But we went there on that Shabbat, 3.5 months ago. My brother-in-law had a child, was born a child the day before, and we were about to celebrate Shalom Zachar, which is a ceremony that goes into the evening of Shabbat after the birth. It started as a regular Shabbat. We got dressed. All the men went to the synagogue. And I stayed at home with my twins, put them to sleep, and we were waiting for the men to go back. As they came back, we sat at the table, we had dinner. It was a happy dinner. You know, when your child was born, it's always a happy occasion. We ate pretty fast, so because we knew that people are about to come about 1 hour after. As we finished dinner, we put on the table some, snacks, drinks, alcohol, because people were supposed to come. At about 7 minutes before 10, I was in the kitchen, just finishing organizing the table. I went to the living room. At the kitchen, there was my husband, Elad, his father, Yossi, his sister, Chaya, and his mother, Tova. They stayed in the kitchen and they were laughing and talking. And I went to the living room. Then the door got opened, and it took me about a second to notice that a person was coming into the house. He was wearing a white shirt and a black pants, and at the first second I did not know that there was something different about that guest. But a second after, when he pulled a knife and said something in Arabic, I understood that it wasn't just a regular guest. I cannot describe the feeling at that moment that I had to decide really fast what I'm about to do and how can I defend my kids. Because at that moment I understood that I cannot help my husband. I told them, they were sitting next to me, the three big ones, because the twins were already asleep. I just told them, go upstairs, fast. And we ran through the stairs, upstairs to the living room, to the bedroom. All of us came in, I closed the door, and then I finds out that there was no key. And I just closed the door, I held the door, and I said, okay, I hope I can defend my kids. While we were there, sitting in the darkness, because I didn't want to turn on the light, because I told the kids not to make any sound, because I was afraid that he will come up to us and hear us. We heard everything that was going on downstairs. It's a horrible feeling to be in a room, knowing that I'm protecting my 5 kids, but also knowing that something really bad is going on downstairs and I cannot help anyone. By the time I understood that I have to call someone to help, I have to call some help because I thought that no one else knew what was going on in the house. My phone was not in the room with me, so in the moment that I felt pretty much safe, I went out of the room, I went to take my phone and I called the police. About a minute after, I heard some talking in Hebrew. I went out of the room, I looked downstairs, and I saw the neighbor that lives right next door. He was holding a gun. And I heard him shouting, "If you move, I will kill you, I will shoot." At that moment, I understood that this event ended, but I need to know what was the consequences, what the results were. I told my kids that I'm going down. I asked them what will be good for them, what could make them feel more comfortable. They said, "Please turn on the light." So I turned on the light, I closed the door, and I went downstairs. Before I went downstairs, I saw my mother-in-law, Elad's mother, sitting right next to the room that we were staying in. She was stabbed in her back just once, and she was okay. She was talking. I thought that she was okay. And I went down. I went down the stairs, and I saw my husband really fast because he was in the entrance of the house. At the moment I saw him, I knew that he was in a really bad. He was bad injured. I called his name, but then I saw that he was breathing his last 3 breaths, and I understood that is over. I looked in the kitchen. I saw my father-in-law, Elad's father. He was lying on the floor. Next to him was a terrorist. At that point, I didn't understand that the terror was a shot, but I understood that he cannot move. It took only seconds that people were coming in. Part of them just came to celebrate with us the Shalom Zachar. They did not know what happened. They got into the house and saw what they saw. And part of them heard the shot, and that's why they came. Apparently, and that's what I understood after that, when we ran away upstairs, my sister-in-law, who was a great hero, apparently, she was stabbed only once, and she just ran out of the house, screaming, so the neighbors heard her. They both came outside, the neighbor, the father and the son, who was a soldier. They came out, they saw what was happening, they went into the house, they brought guns. And the soldier just got into the window, saw the terror, and shot only once till he fell. Apparently, this soldier saved my life and my kid's life and my mother-in-law's life, because before he shot him, the terror just finished what he has to done, what he wanted to done downstairs, and he would have looked for us. It's been crazy because, I went back to the kids and I thought about what should I tell them. I know the father is not alive, but I felt that, I can't tell them at that moment, I felt that I need to wait just just a bit to give them, not to tell them the bad news. So I went upstairs. Of course, they were very afraid. They asked me what happened with him, and I told them that he was injured, but good people came to save him, and they're taking care of him. And I wanted to tell them that I hope that everything will be okay, but I decided not to bring hope where I knew there wasn't. So I told them that people are getting taken care of him. After an hour, people came to me and sat with me, and they told me that the three of them were killed, were murdered. And on that night, we just, a bus came and took us to my sister, and we left the three of them behind us. The morning after, I decided to tell my kids about what happened, and I decided that I won't let them down. I won't let Elad down. I felt that the moment everything happened, Elad and I we signed on a non-written agreement. I guess he saw me running with the kids upstairs to put them in a safe place, and he knew he had to save us. Elad fought the terrorist. He tried to take his knife. He hit him. He was doing everything he could that the terrorist won't get us and won't do us any harm. Elad and I always thought about taking care of the kids, and that's what happened that night. But the morning after, I understood that there was another part of this agreement. The other part was me to get the kids, to have them a normal life in a non-normal reality. So I sat down and talked to them, and I explained to them what happened. And on the same sentence that I told them that their father is gone, I told them that everything will be okay. I told them that we stay together. I told them that it's going to be hard. We can be sad. We can cry. But we have to be strong for one another. And that Elad will know that he didn't die for nothing. Ever since then, I get up every morning, if I sleep at night. But I wake up every morning and I'm thinking, okay, I need to be strong for these kids. And the first few days I thought, I have to be strong for them, but apparently they give me strength more than I give them. I keep my smile every day, even though it's hard. I've got my moments, but I decided that we cannot be sad. The terror killed my husband, and if I'll die with him, it was all just gone. I have to be strong. We are all having our lives, part of them are nice and happy, and there are parts and days that we think that everything not good. And sometimes we focus on only the bad things. But know that when you look at the bright side of life, it gives you strength. It gives strength to the other people around you. When you smile, although it's hard, eventually you're really smiling because you look at the good things, and there are good things. I could have said that my partner in life got killed and I got nothing left. But I have 5 kids. I have the greatest family in the world. You know part of it. The Lando family who stood next to me and came to Israel when we were sitting Shiva. They have been there for me my entire life, but I felt them more for the last 3.5 months. Living in Israel is important. I've always been, I was born in Israel, I never left Israel till 2 days ago. But in this event, you understand that it's not easy. It's not easy to live a life that you're afraid. Yesterday, I went to an event of the FIDF, the Friends of IDF, of the Israel Force. And I stood next to the soldier who shot the terrorist, my hero. And he's my hero because I'm standing here because of him. And that was my hero for almost 13 years. As I said in the beginning, he was an amazing person. Served the army. He volunteered to the army after that. He was a great father. He was a great husband. He was a person that everyone loved from the very first beginning, very first night. Because he couldn't communicate with anyone, no matter what was his opinions and no matter what, how different he was. So my message to you, it's like it's a song that always look on the bright side of life. But it's true. Look at the bright side of life, and you have a big smile on your face, and it will make you keep going no matter what happens. Thank you for listening.